I think the amount of pressure that school puts on you with work and everything is worth the outcome, but is a very hard path to get to the end. So a lot of people end up quitting in the process because it's too much money for the reward at the end.
There are currently 21,705 students enrolled at CMU. These students rely on grants, scholarships, loans, and local employment to pay for school. For many, this is the first time dealing with financial aid. They don't understand the resources available to them or even where to start.
My primary way of paying for college is pretty much split between loans and grants.
Students like Drew have more to worry about than financial aid. On top of commuting to campus from Grand Rapids, Drew has a 16-month-old baby at home to care for. Nearly 4 million college students raise children. That's a fifth of all undergraduate students.
Having a little kid around definitely takes up a lot more time than work or school do, because usually I'm either in class or at home, playing with her, taking care of her, and definitely eats into study or homework time. This year it actually works out nice because I do have like a 4-hour gap between classes 2 days a week where I stay here and she's back at home, so then I had all that time to try and get school stuff done and everything like that, because when I'm at home I don't really get a whole lot done, especially because I'm gone most of the day for classes and commuting here and stuff like that, so I don't really, I want to spend time with her with the time I have, especially some nights I get home and she it's close to bedtime or something like that. So I guess that's another thing. I usually do homework and stuff like that when she's asleep, so later at night.
$309 million. This is the amount of scholarships and financial aid awarded annually at CMU. For the 2019-2020 school year, students are estimated to spend $25,668 on tuition, room and board, books, and other fees. This means CMU students will collectively owe around $557 million a year. With the annual amount of financial aid awarded by the school, around $248 million will be left to students to deal with on their own.
Yeah, the town that I come from, the school that I came from was considered like a school of choice school because everybody from my school was in like a lower income area. But I live in a neighborhood that's a little nicer just because, I don't know, my mom, she has a college education, so I think it affects like the different types of, it affects the jobs that she can have, like where we can live and stuff. And I know everybody's parents doesn't have those opportunities, so I think it does affect how I got here and all that stuff. Just because my mom went to U of M, so like she has a good education. She's a chemical engineer. So like I think people just put a lot of pressure on me to get a job in a good field just because my mom has a job in a good field, and I don't know, they like to I don't want to say compare me to her, but they want me to be like on the same pedestal as her, so it does make it kind of put a little pressure on me to make sure I do good and like graduate and stuff.
There are currently 45 million student loan borrowers in the U.S. that collectively owe more than $1.5 trillion in student debt. Student debt is now the second highest consumer debt category in the U.S., falling short only to mortgage debt. Michigan falls just 9th in the list of overall student loan debt with over $40 billion owed. California tops the list with $111 billion owed.
When I graduated high school, the first thing that was thrown in I did get a scholarship from Central, which you kind of get that automatically if you have the grades and stuff for it. But the first thing that was thrown in my face was a student loan. And it was like, hey, pay for school this way. It wasn't like, apply for these scholarships. I kind of got that information from my counselors when I was in high school, but already from Central. There are information that is out there, but you have to go through a lot of digging to get it. A lot of people stress a lot about not knowing where the next meal is going to come from, not knowing how to pay off college, not knowing how to just really support themselves on the basic things. So I mean, there's just really a lot of mental stress that ends up impacting their social life, impacting how they go about taking care of their school business. So I mean, it can really shut you off from everybody else.
Around 37 million Americans have student debt. That's 1 out of every 10 Americans. Not only are students frantic to find a job as soon as they graduate, many work during college as well. According to the Chronicle of High Education's Almanac, 23% of full-time undergrads work 20 hours or more a week.
Balancing work and school is very hard. At the beginning of the year, I had 4 jobs. I worked at farm markets, at the Renaissance Festival, in the journalism department, and I run my own business. And now I have too many health issues to have that many jobs, so I just work in the journalism in my own business because I have so many doctor's appointments. So it kind of makes it even harder to balance everything.
Kayla fell down a hill during a CMU football game and injured her back. She was playing the tuba in the marching band at the time of the fall. Since then, she has faced more medical issues and finds it hard to even walk to class. She was forced to quit 2 out of her 4 jobs, limiting her income even further.
I find myself cutting costs to pay for school all the time. I only have 10 meals a week for my meal plan, so I don't eat half the time so I can make my tuition payments. I end up picking up extra shifts at work, which cuts into homework time and practice time. I don't practice near as much as I should because I don't have enough time with how much I have to work. Right now I work at the journalism department and am running my own business, which doesn't make as much money as I wish it did. So I still can barely make payments and have to try and ask my parents for money, which they can't really do because they have 4 other kids. So I'm kind of just stuck.
Around 4,000 to 5,000 students graduate from CMU every year. Many of these students will carry debt for years to come. The standard repayment schedule for a federal loan lasts a term of 10 years. Some private loans give you over 25 years to pay off the loan. Either way, it's a burden that follows you well into adulthood. The students you heard from today provide a small glimpse into the struggles that college students face. There are over 19 million students enrolled in colleges and universities throughout the U.S. Each one of those students will face their own struggles. All we can do is hope that one day college won't be a burden at all.